Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's U.S. End-of-Day Recap. Today we cover market movements in indexes, sectors, technology, crypto, currencies, and commodities for Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Kicking things off, I'm Max Profit. Key indexes showed mixed results today. The S&P 500 index closed at 6,880.5, up by 1.16 points, but with mixed negative trends and some downward volatility. Meanwhile, the Dow 30 index experienced strong downward volatility, closing at 48,904.77, down 73.16 points. Despite mixed trends, the overall market breadth showed more advances than declines in several indexes. Notably, the Russell 2000 index led with significant advances, showing 1,139 advances to 679 declines. However, the Dow 30 index had more decliners at 18 compared to 12 advancers. In terms of total returns, the S&P 400 MidCap index posted strong gains with an 8.31% weekly total return. However, the Nasdaq Composite Index is showing a year-to-date decline of 2.12%, despite a daily positive closing price momentum. The energy and industrials were top performers today. Energy achieved a new all-time high closing at 871.78, up 1.9%. Industrials also closed at a new high of 1,512.34. Meanwhile, technology rose to 5,414.7, although it remains in a strong negative trend. Consumer defensive and consumer cyclical were among the worst performers, closing down 1.3% and 1% respectively. Healthcare also fell, but remains in a positive trend with some recent upward volatility. In global markets, the Israel ETF led with a 5.5% increase to a new high of 125.36. Norway followed, closing at 34.98, showing continued positive momentum. Conversely, Brazil's ETF declined for the third consecutive day. Looking at returns, the Israel ETF boasted a high year-to-date return of 13.93%. Norway's ETF also performed well, with a year-to-date return of 21.54%. These gains contrast with Australia's ETF, which remains flat despite a promising positive trend. In the tech sector, Apple closed at 264.72, gaining 0.54. Despite a closing rise, Apple experiences a mixed negative trend. Alphabet faced a downward breakout, declining 5.7 to end at 306.36, marking a negative trend shift. Amazon saw a dip of 1.79 to 208.20, continuing a very strong negative trend. Meanwhile, Meta Platforms experienced an upward breakout, climbing 5.38 to close at 653.56, though it remains in a strong negative trend. Finally, Nvidia surged 5.29, closing at 182.48, yet it also faces a negative trend.
Checking out crypto, I'm Timothy Satoshi. Bitcoin is making headlines today with a current price of $69,426.6, up by a solid 3,657.6, marking a 5.5% rise. Ethereum follows closely, gaining 103.14 to reach 2,042.82, up by 5.3%. Meanwhile, BNB is on a roll, climbing 17.52 to 635.61, with strong upward volatility breaking out from a previous flat trend. Elsewhere, Solana rises 4.7 to 87.67, while Dogecoin inches up by 0.0025, maintaining its flat trajectory. Wrapping up our crypto segment, Bitcoin showcases a weekly total return of 5.56%, despite a negative trend this year. Ethereum mirrors this weekly strength with a 5.32% gain. BNB and Solana also enjoy positive weekly returns, but remain in a strong negative trend for the year. Dogecoin remained slightly positive weekly, though down nearly 19.46% year to date.
For a look at foreign exchange, I'm Victoria Cashmore. The US dollar is showing strength today across several major currencies. Against the euro, it is at 0.8550, up by 0.66 cents, demonstrating a strong positive trend and notable upward volatility. Meanwhile, the pound sits at 0.7459, rising for 4 consecutive days, suggesting a mixed positive trend. Turning to the yen, the dollar continues its very strong upward trajectory with an intraday price of 157.3450, gaining 0.7930. In contrast, though gaining today, the greenback shows a mixed negative trend against the Swiss franc at 0.7793, appreciating by 1.6 cents and showing strong volatility. Lastly, in breaking out from consolidation, the greenback against the Australian dollar is up at 1.4101 with a positive move post a flat trend.
I'm Max Profit, along with our AI hosts Timothy Satoshi and Victoria Cashmore. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated, and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check in weekdays after 4 p.m. New York time for daily market reports with in-depth stock, index, sector, crypto, currency, and commodity coverage. Thanks for watching.